Good afternoon. This is Mr. Ed. Sorry I couldn't be here today, but I want to share with you the work that you're going to be assigned. And I think it's important to understand we're trying to learn how to rewrite equations so you can use your calculator to find various answers, such as where the two equations intersect or other data from the table. So the whole lesson is about the process of rewriting an equation. If you look at your notes, you're going to see I've given you an equation, 6x minus 3y equals 21. And I want to rewrite that equation and show you how it can be y equal 2x minus 7. Here are the steps. First, I'm going to subtract 6x from both sides. I'm going to subtract 6x because this was a positive 6x. When I subtract 6x from 6x, I zero it out. And on the left side, I'm left with just the negative 3y. On the right side, I have the 21, and I have to do to the right side of the equation what I did to the left. I subtracted 6x on the left, so I now have to show a subtract 6x on the right. That's the first step. I don't have an equation though that says y equals. I have an equation that says negative 3y equals. So I need to divide by the coefficient of y. So I'm going to show dividing every term by negative 3, which is the coefficient of y. Now when you divide negative 3 by negative 3, it becomes positive 1. So my equation now is y equals 21 divided by negative 3 is negative 7. Negative 6 divided by negative 3 is plus 2x. Alright, there's the equation in the format that I want. I want my equation to be y equals slope times x plus my y-intercept. This is an equation I can put in the calculator. I can put it in the calculator, use the table, I can graph it, I can answer a lot of star questions by having the equation in the calculator and taking advantage of the different operations that we know. Now, right now you're probably overwhelmed. Right now you're probably overwhelmed because you see me subtracting terms. You see me subtracting a 6x. You see me dividing a negative 3y by negative 3. To simplify the process, what I'd like to do is teach you these steps using just numbers. And we're going to solve for certain numbers just like you're going to know how to solve for y. If you look at your notes, look at number 1. I have 5 subtract 4 equals 1. Now, I want to solve for this term. Subtract 4, negative 4. I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. That will zero out the 5, and I will be left with 1 subtract 5. Now, using your calculators, can you confirm that negative 4 is equal to 1 subtract 5? Go ahead and check that. Your calculator should confirm that 1 minus 5 is also negative 4. I want you to appreciate we didn't change the value of this equation. It's an equivalent equation. When I started, I had 5 minus 4 is equal to 1. I subtracted 5 from both sides. The equation is still true. It's now an equation, though, that says negative 4 equals 1 subtract 5. And when I simplify it, it's negative 4 equals negative 4. So all we've done is rewrite the equation. We've rewritten it from 5 subtract 4 equals 1 to negative 4 equal 1 subtract 5. And we've confirmed that's still a true equation. Let's try another one. Look at number 2. I've got 4 plus 3 equals 7. I want to solve for the 3 term. I want the 3 term by itself on the left side of the equation. To do that, I need to negate this positive 4. So I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. 4 subtract 4 is 0. And I'm left with 3 is equal to 7 subtract 4, because I had to subtract the 4 on the right side to keep the equation equivalent. Is 3 equal to 7 subtract 4? Take your calculator if you need to and confirm that 3 is still equal to 3. So we rewrote the equation 4 plus 3 equals 7 and made it 3 equals 7 subtract 4. And then we just confirm that's also a true equation. The equation is still valid, we just rewrote it in a different format. Go ahead and practice problems 3, 4, and 5. Confirm with your calculator if the equations are still equivalent, so you would circle yes, or circle no if they're not equivalent. Alright, turn over your note sheet, and now we're on the back. And we want to practice the process of dividing by the coefficient of y. And we're going to do that with just numbers also. Look at number 1. I've got 3 multiplied by the term negative 2 equals 6. Equal negative 6. Now, if I was to solve for the term negative 2, what I would need to do is divide by 3. Dividing by 3 changes the coefficient of negative 2 to a 1. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So then I just have the term negative 2. However, if you divide the left side by 3, I need to divide the right side by 3. So I'm going to divide negative 6 by 3. Is this equation still true? Is negative 2 equal to negative 6 divided by 3? Check it in your calculator. What's negative 6 divided by 3? Negative 2? It's still a valid true equation. So circle yes. All I wanted to do was rewrite the equation so that negative 2 would be by itself on the left side equal to the right side. That's what we're practicing here. Go ahead and practice 2, 3, 4, and 5 by dividing by the first number and solving for the number in parentheses. If you end up with an equation that's true, circle yes. If it's not true, circle no. Now let's combine the process of adding or subtracting and then dividing. Look at problem number 1. I've got the constant 2 plus the coefficient 2 times 5 in parentheses so I've got 2 times the number 5 in parentheses equal to 12. I want to solve for the number 5 in parentheses to where it is by itself on the left side of the equation. First step, subtract 2. 0 out the 2. You're left with 2 multiplied, the coefficient, multiplied times 5 is equal to 12 minus 2 on the right side. Now divide by 2. That's the coefficient of 5. Divide every term by 2. I end up with 5 by itself, and that's equal to 12 divided by 2, subtract 2 divided by 2, which is equal to 6 subtract 1. Use your calculator if you need to. Most of us probably know 5 is equal to 6 subtract 1. We can confirm this is an equivalent equation rewritten just so we can have the number 5 by itself on the left side. What steps did we take? We subtracted 2 from both sides and we divided every term by 2 to get 5 by itself on the left side. We solved the equation for 5. Try the other problems, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Use the hints in the notes. Like on number 2, it says add 8, then divide by 2. Take those steps to the given equation in number 2 and solve, in this case, for 5 again.